Who was up to going to Coney Island? Anybody?
Sam not.
Today we are going all the way down to Brighton Beach, which is Coney Island, near it anyway. Doing a different route, because all I've been doing is a 2 train. This was the route we're supposed to do today in the Discord, which I'm going to link down below, which you can get all these files from there. You can download all the routes, but the trains, a lot of them you have to get from BVE station and whatnot. So yeah, this came with a Q route, so the St-7th is what it's called. And I believe this is an R-160, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe this is an R-160. So we are going on a this is a pretty short route, I think. We're traveling from 57th Street, 7th Avenue, all the way to Brighton Beach. And I've been on this train before, in real life, to go to Kings Highway. Yeah, I've definitely have been here on this train before. So it's going to be very interesting. Except this one, yeah, Atlantic Avenue. Atlantic Avenue is in the Midway. And one time I had to take the 2 train all the way to Atlantic, transfer to the Q to go to Kings Highway to visit a friend. This is years ago, but that is where we are heading. So we only have a handful of stops. This is a fully local train. We're going to be stopping at every single stop that there is on this route. So without further ado, let's do this. The cab is a bit different. I've never really seen this cab before. It's a lot more zoomed in. This is the furthest I can zoom out. Actually, I am wrong. But yeah, this is like how it looks zoomed out. So it's a lot more better to zoom in so that we can see what in the crap we're doing. All right, so we got to reset the time, so let's do that. And it doesn't seem like we are having any kind of announcements for this train, even though I have a folder, full of announcements. But the Q trains and so on and so forth don't really have any digital announcers. Unless it has voiced, but we'll see. All right. Hold on, I'm just readjusting myself real quick. I'm gonna have to. Because I'm so used to driving the R-160 right now, it's kind of like messing me up right now. I'm sorry, the R-60, the R-62 is what I'm usually driving, so I'm kind of used to not having to hit the Q key to brake. Because I've been doing the R-62 for quite a bit now. So now I have to... Oh, I also have to manually close the doors, so it's not automatic anymore. Allow me to adjust. But I'm doing this all with one hand. Fastest we can go is now 30. Now it's 15. I didn't know that you can catch the Q train at 42nd. I kind of wish I knew that. I really wish I knew that. Because I took it all the way to Atlantic. I could have just switched to the Q at 42nd. That would have been so much more easier if I did that. I'm serious. If I knew that I can get off at Times Square to catch the Q, I would have done that. Now I feel stupid that I did not know this information. I honestly did not know that because I was looking at the routes from off my computer and I was like, the Q gets off at Atlantic. I'll just go to Atlantic. Because obviously I was looking at the route before I even, like the way to get to Kings Highway. I remember I went on the internet and looked at the MTA map instead of just going there and trying to figure it out myself by using the map system at the train station. I was like, nah, I'm just going to pre-plan my route because I've never been there before. It's not somewhere I'd usually go. You know what I mean? That's what I did. Why is my door closed? What are you doing? And as I was looking, I wasn't looking at 42nd Street and all of the transfers you can do there. I wasn't looking. I must have skipped over 42nd Street because there's so many stops there. There's so many routes that you could take over at 42nd Street. So I probably was like, I'm not looking at 42nd because there's so many routes, yada, yada, yada. The next best thing kept looking down at the other stops where the Q could also be at. Atlantic Avenue was one of them. So bada bing, bada boom, I'm going to Atlantic. That's what I did. It's nice to know now, especially since I don't live downstate anymore. Don't get me wrong, I love to live down there, but their rents have gotten exponentially more expensive. 2000, $2,500 for rent just to live in the city. Not only that, Mount Vernon, my original apartment that I used to live in when I was a kid in Mount Vernon, is now $1,600 a month, bro. It's $1,600. You know, we used to pay like what, like $700 a month for it back in what, 1990 something. So basically, we did not spend that much money living down there at that particular time. And is that apartment worth $1,600? Hell to the no. That ain't worth no damn $1,600 cockroach rat infested apartment. You kidding me? You must be out your cotton picking mind, thinking, you know, oh yeah, this apartment's definitely worth $1,600. But that's something they gotta love about New York. It's the fact that everywhere is expensive because it's a tourist attraction. Don't get me wrong, I love New York City. I love the surrounding boroughs. I love Manhattan. I love Bronx. I love Queens. I love, you know, Brooklyn. I don't like Staten Island all that much because Staten Island is a cesspool pit of just garbage. Not the people who live there, but anyone who lives in Staten Island can tell you is one of the worst places to live ever. Staten Island really is just bad in general to live at. You know, people take the Staten Island ferry just to ride the boat and then come directly back for a reason. No one wants to go and stick around at Staten Island for too long. And it's not because the Met Stadium is over there. It has nothing to do with it. It's just the fact that Staten Island is just trashy. It's just not a good, it's not a good place to live. And it's expensive over there too. I remember it got hit by a major blizzard like a couple years ago. But New York in general has actually gotten hit by quite a few storms, honestly. They've actually gotten hit by storms. You know? They've gotten hit by storms before. New York is not, you know, New York City is not immune to storms. It's been hit by quite a few storms. Right now, it's getting hit by a pretty hefty snowstorm, currently, actually. It's a nice route. I like this route. Let me stop being biased. I like all the routes in this. All the routes I've downloaded. I spent a good chunk of my time installing these routes. And the good thing is there is a channel on the Discord. Channel category that has all the stuff that you need, basically, if you really want to like have a ton of New York City style routes. and you'll find them all in this channel that I'm in. It's called the OpenBVE development, and they have like this. I'm gonna put it in the description so everyone can get their hands on it and everything. But they're also a pretty friendly community. If you don't have a particular file or root, they will help you. They're not mean people, really. They're pretty cool people. They're not deplorable or disagreeable. From the time that I spent with them so far, they are actually pretty cool people, so it's pretty good. So far, in my experience, they're pretty nice people. But it seems that OpenBVE is mostly for New Yorkers, people in the UK, and Japan, because content for OpenBVE covers 3 of those aspects very nicely, because there's a huge United Kingdom route. I think it's Brighton. I don't know what the route is called, but it's huge for OpenBVE. And I think this is the Brooklyn Bridge. I know it probably looks really strange. All the bright blue colors for the beams and stuff like that. But I think that's the charm that I really love about this simulator. It's just the simpleness of it. I love it. Say as you will, I love this stuff. It's the reason why I love the simulator. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to function. Honestly. And what I really love about the simulator is that it's open source. It gets updated. It's never really outdated. It always gets updated. There's a community backing it up. It's not just a simulator that's, just like, the graphics are crap, so no one's gonna play it. It's not like that. People actually spend their time with the simulator and actually do stuff with it. That's the thing about the simulator, they actually do something with it. They're just not like, oh, this is crap, I don't care about it because the graphics are bleh. I'll stick with Train Simulator 2021. No, they actually spend their time with this. Because other companies are not going to make these routes. There isn't a company that has actually sat down and spent their time to reproduce literally every route possible in New York City. No company has ever done it. But with OpenBVE, there's a community that tries to reproduce every known route in New York City possible. And from what I'm seeing, it's mostly done out of love, and that's the thing that I love about these sort of projects. And the what comes out of it is that it's just done by people who just who live in New York, and they like trains. It's like, screw it, I'm gonna make it because, hey, why not? Which is what I do. I make OpenBVE routes because it's just something I want to do. Why is it telling me to go slower? The post said 15 miles per hour. And that's what I was going and told me to go slower. There was no D sign for the speed limit. And the game is sort of just penalized me. Whatever. OpenBVE is always going to yell at you. Nothing you can do about it. The only thing about OpenBVE is that it's not like, I wouldn't say it's not user friendly, because you do have to download a lot of stuff. Right now, my OpenBVE folder with the routes, not the trains, because it's not too many New York City trains, but you know, from old all the way to new, you know, the routes take up the majority of my files. It just does. Right now, my OpenBVE folder is about 13 gigs big. Considering the fact that I have games far more bigger than that. I got games that require, I would say, 32, even 50 gigabytes of your HDD space all the time, you know? I got these kind of games where they demand huge amounts of your HDD space in order to even be run on your system. But 13 gigabytes worth of content is not bad. I mean, the worst I've ever had was Arma 3. Arma 3, I have to say, is the worst, because I remember when I had the mods for Arma 3, it went up to like 70 gigs. Yeah, it was straight up up to 70 gigs of hard drive space, I remember. Man, this route does not let you go fast. There's no speeding in this. You gotta go super slow on the Q. I gotta zoom in just so that I can see the markers. I have to. All the routes I have, it's like, oh yeah, you can definitely go up 45 miles per hour. This one, nope. You cannot go at that speed. You just can't. You got to go slow. Now we're at Atlantic Avenue. Yeah, this is where I had to. This is where I got my train. The 2 train stops here. Okay, it stops here. It does. RIBRB for 1 second. All right, so we're getting there. I know this is not going to be a long video. It's not going to be like an hour or 50 minutes like prior videos. And there do exist, routes that don't take an immense lengthy period of time to cover and record. Or play. I'm mostly talking about myself. Seems I can go a bit more faster through this tunnel because I'm just getting the green light. Green lights just meet the markers for the that are green. Go ahead, go up the markers that are green tells you the maximum speed that you can travel is 45 miles per hour. But as soon as there is a yellow light as caution, proceed, but be prepared to stop at the next marker, is what yellow pretty much means. There is a web page for OpenBVE if you're unaware of how to read the markers. It does tell you what the markers mean. It does tell you what, the speed limit signs mean and stuff like that. I'm still a bit on my knowledge of them. But really, they're not that difficult to understand. And no wonder why my speed is not rising that much, because this is mostly uphill. I'm on neutral and I'm decreasing in speed. Yeah, this is 7th Avenue. And we're right now down to yeah, this is gonna be, yeah. I've made more worse stops, but my stopping game has gotten a lot better. Now, I've had a difficult time with my microphone because I realized yesterday when I was doing the, oh my God, here we go again. Close. Thank you. I realized yesterday that for some reason I took the microphone out of my headset, and I've noticed that it was still recording audio from my desktop, and people who were speaking in the Discord, it was being played twice. My headset's not great. I had to put an echo cancellation, and then it stopped. So the next time I do an OpenBVE run with the crew, it's not going to sound like that. I was very disappointed with the way it sounded because it was already recorded, and I wasn't generally happy with the quality of it. So it was do or die at that point. I had not had a choice, honestly. But there will be more opportunities. We're going to do it today, but not too many people showed up. That's the reason why I'm doing the Q now. Because this was the route I was going to do with the group today. I was going to do this route. Yes, I was going to do the Q all the way to Coney. And I told them I had the 57th Ave to Brighton Beach. Is that close enough? They're like, yeah, it's close enough. So, yeah, I'm doing 57th Ave to Brighton. And unfortunately, not too many people showed. So, unfortunately, we couldn't do it today. So, hey, what can you do? What can you do? I do have a good amount of, you know, Q-train routes. I do have a good amount of them. It's not like I don't, so. "30 miles an hour we must travel, no faster than 30. I don't want to piss off the markers. We're switching tracks, that's what that sign means. Or not. It said 15, damn it. I thought we were gonna switch tracks. Alright, never mind. Just go 30. I don't have any route knowledge of this really because yo, I have a lot of routes downloaded, man. And I'm still a newbie when it comes to these routes. And there's a lot of routes that I have downloaded. This is just one of them. If there's one feature I wish OpenBVE had, is that I can add in driver's notes in the viewer. Like I can be like, did this route. You know, I wish I could do that. I'm probably now gonna have to do like a notepad sort of thing to remind myself which routes I've already finished. But more than likely, I'm gonna be doing the same route twice every couple of times because of the fact that I also do stuff with the Discord group for OpenBVE development. You know, R-160 is easy to drive. Where are we now? Okay, we're going near Newkirk Plaza. That's our next stop. After that is Kings Highway, then Sheepheads Bay, then Brighton Beach. So, yeah, I do remember it was like this when I rode the actual train. It was definitely like this. And I cannot tell you all who are watching this far into the video, obviously, how much I miss the city. I just do. I miss living down there, but you need at least a $40,000 a year income to live somewhat comfortably in the city and its surrounding boroughs. That's what you need. You need to be at least making that much in order to really live down there. And that's what drove me upstate. Even when you live upstate, you still have to suffer the high taxes of New York State. Taxes are crazy. Right now, a pack in Newport is $14. It's true. I wish I was kidding. But yeah. I'm glad I stopped smoking again, but that's a lot of money for a pack of Noopies. If you're a smoker and you live in New York, you're kind of screwed because you can't smoke. It's too much money. $14 a pack now for a pack of Newport. It's crazy. Taxes are so high here. But the one thing I have to say about New York, we're not as bad as Hawaii. Hawaii is the worst state when it comes. That's the highest tax state, Hawaii, because it's so luxurious. It's an island. It's filled with Asian people, sexy Asian women. And this is the place to be if you got a yellow fetish. Let me just be straight up with y'all. I love Asian women. I think they're gorgeous. But they don't like Boricuas. I'm just being honest. They don't gravitate towards Spanish men. So I love them, but they don't like us. When it comes to, you know, having some kind of concubine, you know what I mean? The Spanish men, they do not consider us. So, yo, don't get me wrong. I love Asian women. I think that they're gorgeous. Chinese women, Japanese women, Korean women, I find gorgeous. Vietnamese, I don't care. Asian ladies, even Filipinas, they are gorgeous to me. But they do not like Latinos. They just don't consider us. They go for white guys or their own kind. That's basically what they do. It is what it is. What can I tell you? I know it's a stereotype, but it's a true stereotype. And that's what I hate about stereotypes, is that a lot of the times they're so damn true. Like how they say black people like watermelon and chicken. But here's a stupid stereotype to that. I'm Latino, and yes, I do got black in me. Don't get me wrong. I got black genes in me. And Native American genes. I love watermelon. And I love fried chicken too. So how in the hell is it that black people are subjugated to like this racist stereotype that they love chicken when my Puerto Rican ass loves chicken too? I love it fried too. I love chicken. How in the hell are you going to say that only black folk like chicken? It's delicious. I'm going to say that only blacks like chicken. Like, they literally, it's like candy to them. It's candy to us too. We love our chicken. You know, it's stupid. I always found that funny. You know what I mean? What, you gonna tell a black man he cannot enjoy a slice of watermelon without getting looks? You know, are you gonna look at me, a Puerto Rican man who's eating rice and beans? You're gonna look at me like, oh, look at him. He loves it because he likes the rice and beans because he's Spanish. Of course he likes it. You know how stupid that is? It's stupid. You're gonna give me hell because I'm eating exactly what my culture likes? Like, of course we like rice and beans, like Spanish rice. We like sofrito. No, sofrito and the beans and the rice. It's what we like, you know? Shut up. But unfortunately, the Asian thing, as much as I love them, that stereotype is true. I don't care what no one tells me. I love them. Don't get me wrong. I love Asian people. I had a best friend I still talk to today. We kind of drifted apart, unfortunately, but I still talk to him. He's Chinese. I still talk to him. So, hey. I still talk to him. He's still a good friend of mine. We don't talk often, but we still have a line of communication between us. Now, just for verification, no, I do not despise the Chinese people because of the coronavirus. I do not hold any ill will against any Chinese man or woman. I don't. I hold ill will against their government, if you want my political side of knowing how I feel about, the Chinese government. I think the Chinese government's trash. I think they are the detriment that holds back the Chinese people, if you want my opinion. They work them to death, and they make them work in factories. It's like, yeah, the way that the Chinese people are treated is crazy. Their government sucks. And I feel for my Chinese brothers and sisters, man. I just ran a red marker, thanks. I have to apply the emergency brakes? Okay. Yeah, that marker would not change. I don't know what it's about that marker, but it would not change. Like I said, that's my route knowledge. I don't know much about this route. Our next stop is Sheepshead, and we're already almost about 45 minutes with this episode. It's just driving. There's not too many stops. It's just driving. Straight up driving is all that this is. Driving, driving, driving. So I was wrong to say that this route wasn't going to take too long, because this is just straight up driving is all that it is. There are stops, but it's mostly driving. I'm happy to provide commentary with this, with my newbie sort of point of view, because every other piece of video that I've seen about OpenBVE, it's all silent, can't see the marker. All right, it's yellow. We can proceed. That's what dispatch tries to avoid the most. Is our train making head-on collision with a train in front of us? It would be awesome if OpenBVE had some kind of online multiplayer where we could, you know, somehow have like this sort of thing where we can actually, but so we have to do it like visually and everything. So yeah, that train that we just saw move in front of us is still there. That's interesting because I remember another YouTuber was like, "Oh, OpenBVE doesn't support animations. What is that? That's a moving train." That is animation. I don't know what you're talking about, my friend. But that is 100% animation. I guess OpenBVE supports animation. Who would have thought? Because what the guy was talking about is that there is no AI trains. There is no trains that move along the route. And guy was wrong. Supports it now, I guess. The more further along OpenBVE gets better and better, this stuff gets added. And it would seem that the next update for OpenBVE is going to add in weather. Which I find to be very cool. So one thing I don't like about this completely zoomed the hell in cockpit, I'm not that crazy about it. And we, ladies and gentlemen, have made our last stop in about 49 minutes. So, yeah, this is our last stop. And this was a particularly very fun ride. And I have to say that I've enjoyed this. So, I'm going to continue doing more OpenBVE content because I am obviously in love with the simulator because of its simplicity and the fact that it's so, you know, it's open source and it has a lot of modifications, has a lot of really unique routes. And I like the community. So definitely really enjoyed this route. Especially the fact that I've actually rode on this particular route in real life. But there's a lot that I have not. I haven't been all over the city, sadly, even when I lived down there. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we'll be doing some more soon. Stick around for more content. Subscribe if you haven't. There's a lot more to come. Take it easy, and God bless. One love.